Today, I am going to be taking you guys along for a minimal home tour because I truly believe in both show and tell, and I talk a lot about decluttering and minimalism here on this channel. I felt that it would be perfect for me to just show you guys what our realistic minimal home looks like as a family of four with two little. We've been in this home for 4 years, so we have definitely had some time to accumulate things inside of the home. It's not going to be perfect, it's not even going to be super clean. The goal of this video is to be as realistic as possible and just show you guys what minimalism looks like. It's not what everyone thinks it is. It's not just all white everything, no home decor, nothing on the walls, a home that doesn't look lived in. This home is very much lived in, it's loved, and we have poured so much love and care into it over the years. So much that if you would have seen this video a year or more ago, it will look completely different because I used to accumulate so much clutter, but it is a lifelong journey, I feel, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. I pursued minimalism and decluttering my whole entire home about 2 years ago, and I am just learning more and more ways to truly perfect it in a way that our home feels so comfortable and easy to manage, and I want that for you all too. So maybe you're minimalism, maybe you're not, maybe you just want to see what it could maybe look like realistically so that it doesn't feel so daunting, doesn't feel so scary. That is the purpose of this video. So come on in. So welcome to the main area of our home, which is our family room and kitchen area. This is where we spend time together as a family, and this is also where we like to host our family over whenever we have gatherings and everything. It's right off the patio door, so we can blow up the bounce house for the kids, barbecue and everything, and that works out very well. As you can see, it's not a ton of things in here, but here on the left side of the home, the left wall, we have our 3-seater recliner. The middle seat does fold down to a console with a cup holder and some USB ports, and then the two on the end reclines. And then we have a swivel rocker reclining sofa here. This one we often pull away from the wall and kind of just put it where it's most comfortable. But that's our seating arrangement, just right up against the wall. I know some people say don't put your furniture against the wall for like looks and everything, but as far as functionality and giving my kids actual space to move about, this works best for us. We have a very small little coffee table. It's a lift top coffee table, which is perfect if you want to hide away some clutter because you can just lift that table open and put your books inside of there. I currently have a Good and the Beautiful Bible study that I'm working on there on the coffee table. I'm still working on that this morning. And then my husband also has 2 Bible studies underneath there, and I have a devotion. So that's our coffee table. And then we have our blanket holder, which I don't have any blankets on there right now. And then we have 2 baby pictures of my son and a little lamp. So that's what's all on this wall here. And then the last piece of furniture we have is our buffet table. I love this buffet table because you can slide these doors. You can just store any type of maybe toys for the kids here. You can store decor. But my favorite part are these sliding barn doors that they have, which allows me to hide away my husband and son's PlayStation video game console, their controller, and a couple of games. So it's perfect for that. We just drilled a hole in the back and fed the cords through there. And so that is very convenient to have. As you can see, he has like his drone down there and more video game things there. So it's perfect for a family entertainment system because you can hide away some of those things so that it doesn't look too cluttered. Up top here, I do have a box because we are packing some things that we need to ship elsewhere in there. And then Easter just passed us a couple of days ago. So these are just leftover things from Easter, some of the kids' Easter basket items. And then these are some extra baskets that I'm thinking we'll either toss or store away for next year Easter. Up top here, I have a candle that I have had for about going on 3 years now I've had this candle. It's a pillar candle, so it burns a long time. And then my husband has his camera up there. We have a little indoor Ring camera, and then our home internet system there. My niece's birthday is today. Tomorrow's my son's birthday. So we have a lot kind of going on right here. My niece and sister are going to visit. So I just have a couple of gifts here that's going to be waiting for them. This is our clutter basket. This basket is a basket that mostly it's always the kids' toys, but any type of clutter, toys, anything that accumulates in here and doesn't belong in here typically goes inside of this basket. And then at the end of the week, I can grab this basket and go put everything away at once. So these toys have been accumulating for the past 4 weeks now. Yeah, I was supposed to, like I said, do this at the end of the week and I haven't. So this is something that I need to do. But honestly, it's not too shabby for 4 weeks of clutter to have accumulated in here. Just things that need to get put away. And then a couple more candles. I love to have a good candle ready to light to set the mood, or when you have guests coming over, to really make the home nice and warm. So that is pretty much it in here. For the family room, we have a blind there. We need to replace one of the blinds have fallen off, or fallen off is actually not the accurate way to describe my daughter pulling it off. The kids have a couple of ride-on and push toys that they love, and we just keep them off to the side here because they have enough space to be able to actually play with them here when it's too cold to go outside. So now I'll take you guys inside of the kitchen. Let's just start here on this wall, which is next to both the family room and the kitchen. And you guys, yeah, it's like I said, it's not perfectly clean. It's just messy, I guess, maybe. And I still need to mop the floors. This is just realistic, right? So here's the kitchenette area. Sometimes if we're hosting like a dinner party, like an intimate one with family, this little dinner table here, we can actually like open up the patio on a nice summer evening and then set the table right there in front of the patio door. And then we can kind of like host in this setting here, where it's like a little more space, but otherwise this is our little setup. Because it's only 4 of us, my daughter has her high chair. We just have 3 chairs out majority of the time. 2 tall back dinner chairs, and then my son has a higher like wooden chair. But underneath we do have a little bench. So if we have any guests that ends up coming over, we slide the table out a little bit and then utilize that bench against the wall, which actually just allows for an extra 3 more people to sit at this table. And then again, it's right here off of the kitchen, which has, as you can see, things on the counter. And so let's just take a little tour of the kitchen. As far as appliances goes in the kitchen, we have a air fryer. We also have a microwave. We have a stove with also an air fryer. So is the air fryer completely necessary? No, but does my husband loves it? Absolutely. That thing cooks beautiful. So if you're in the market for an air fryer, I recommend this one. It's really good. My husband's cast iron skillet, his grill items for when he makes a good steak, which he did a couple of days ago. We just need to store it away. It is so heavy, so don't mind it just sitting there on the stove. But our coffee pot, the actual pot itself, is in the dishwasher. I took this out so that you guys can really get a look at all the appliances that we have. We have the Presto Fry Daddy deep fryer. My husband loves his deep fryer. Makes a really good batch of fries if you're having like a fish fry or fish and chips type thing, anything like that. And then our blender stays out all the time, so like we could put that away, we'll put that away. Just showing you guys everything that we have here, but this stays out all the time. We use our blender bottles every single day, as well as our blender, because we use it after like working out and things like that, or to have a smoothie, our protein shakes, all of that stuff. So we use our blender every single day. Some wooden cooking utensils. I just love to keep like fresh flowers out in the summertime. I'm grabbing them from out of the garden weekly, but because it's spring here and still pretty cold. There are no flowers to harvest or to cut from. So we just have an empty wicker vase here. We have 2 coffee kettles. As you can see, mine is still pretty warm. I'm gonna just restart it because after this video, I'm gonna have another glass of tea. And then this tea maker here in the back, a little more sleek. It's my husband's tea kettle. And then we have our NutriBullet. So do we have multiple blenders? Yes, this NutriBullet is perfect for single serve, but if you need something to make a larger batch, then that Ninja blender is perfect for that reason. This is what I like to call my clutter basket for the kitchen. If you've been here a while, you've probably heard me say keep a clutter basket in the rooms that are most lived in the rooms that generate the most clutter. That's the basket that you go through at the end of every week. That way you don't feel like you're decluttering an entire house or an entire room every single week or every single month. You are decluttering a basket. So at the end of the week, if you're like, okay, I have to declutter, you grab your clutter basket and you put things where they go or toss it, throw it away, donate it, do whatever you need to do. That is normally the stuff that just doesn't have a home inside of your home or inside of that room that you have your clutter basket in. So it either needs to go in another room or it needs to leave the house completely. So clutter baskets are such a slept on tip, and I just think everybody should keep these cute little clutter baskets because not only are they cute, they can be decorative and everything, but they're useful. So this is my kitchen clutter basket. I mentioned that my son's birthday is tomorrow, so we are planning a little gathering here for him. We're gonna have, food and desserts and things. So currently we have lots of disposables here: cups, plates, utensils, pans for the grill, different things like that. They don't have a home, so this is where they are right now. And then after the, party or event, we'll dispose of it and have our clutter baskets back. We love a glass of wine and a little dessert after dinner sometimes throughout the week. Our dessert for this week was either a cookie or a cupcake, and my daughter actually licked that one. So there's that. Other than that, I had to wash my son's toothbrush cup, so has a home, definitely not in the kitchen. And the high chair tabletop, I love that you can just snap these onto the high chair and then snap this whole thing off and wash it. It just makes cleaning the high chair so easy. It's so lightweight, it can even go in the dishwasher. So there's that, my water bottle, my phone, just little things that's just there for now. And then up top here on the shelves, I'll show you guys, I have my tea right here that I've been drinking throughout the week. I had some sinus issues earlier this week, so I was keeping my tea just easy to grab. Otherwise, it would be inside of the cabinet. And then up there, I have a lavender and vanilla beeswax candle. This has such a nice smell and such a clean burn. And this is a candle from my website, Hearth and Home Heritage Company, hearthandhomeheritage.com. Definitely check it out. I'd love for you to see what we have over there. But other than that, we have one little piece of decor there. Up there, I have another candle. That's my peppermint one. And I have a jar of dried herbs that we harvested from the garden last summer. And that's just what I have left over. I use those dried herbs in my peppermint hair oils, my peppermint candles, and things like that. And these are the ones that I had been using around the kitchen. We just have the filters for our water and then some hydration packets that I pretty much grab throughout the day, throughout the week. So quick grab there. My husband had purchased us roses for our anniversary that just passed a couple of weeks ago. So have a little vase up there that's left over from that. Other than that, that's typically what the kitchen looks like, except some of these appliances that we sometimes store away. And now I'm going to show you guys the utensils, the dishes, and everything. I've taken out everything mostly from the cabinets, and I'll show you what we own up there. We have some aluminum foil and some parchment paper, and then a couple of cups up there. My son went to the Mario movie and got a cup, a Super Dad mug, a measuring glass, and an extra protein cup. That's what you guys see up there. Everything else I have put out to show you guys what we have. So silverware, 4 tablespoons, 4 teaspoons, 4 dinner spoons, and 4 salad spoons. We have 4 butter knives. My daughter has her little tiny fork, spoon, and knife set, as well as a couple of rubbers for when she was a little bit younger. That's our dinnerware. And here we have 4 bowls, 4 salad plates in there, and then I have 2 suctions that go with these 2 stainless steel kid plates or toddler size. So both my daughter and son use those, and when my daughter is using it, we just put it on the suctions on her high chair. I have a couple of cups in here for the kids, but in here we have 4 basic white dinner plates. And typically there are 4 glasses up top, dinner glasses, but one of them is in the dishwasher. And then we have 2 of these smaller like juice glasses. They're really great for like orange juice, cranberry juice, things like that. So we have 2 of these. And then we have 2 of these basic little tea or coffee mugs. Again, my husband and I are typically the only people using those. Larger knives in here, some measuring spoons. We have cooking utensils there, as well as the ones up here on the countertop that I showed you guys. Inside of here, we have a couple of cookware. So we have a larger skillet, a medium-sized skillet, as well as a medium-sized sauce pot there. We have our cast iron as well. Lots of water bottles, protein cups, NutriBullet cups. And then we have more cookware down here. So we have bakeware, our Faberware cookie sheet, as well as the 2 rectangular. These are called like cake pans, but they're just like your rectangular baking pans. And then we have mixing bowls. We also have cake pans in there, cutting board, some glass meal prep containers. We also have 2 more bakeware dishes from the Pioneer Woman collection, a smaller and a bigger rectangular one. So that's all the dishes that we pretty much own in our home. I'll show you guys. The cabinet's pretty bare in here. We've got some extra straws, some scissors, some cabinet locks, a meat thermometer, and a little lighter that we'll be using to light the candles for my son's birthday tomorrow. Everything has childproof locks on it, but just giving you guys, it's hard to get in here, a look at everything. So you know, I don't want you all to think I'm hiding dishes or anything like that. It's all just empty inside of there. So I do have a cake dish up top. If you are new here, maybe you don't know our family, we are snowbirds, which means that we travel down south during the cold season months. So we are here half the year and there half the year. So the plan is to also give you guys a minimal apartment tour of our Florida apartment as well. But here, if you're wondering why everything is in storage containers and things like that, it's because we are getting ready to head back down there for a bit. So when we are traveling, try to keep things neat, tidy, stored away so that they're just not here collecting dust. You know, this is our good. It's not like super expensive fine china. You know how some people store their fine china away and, you know, things like that. It's not like that. This is just us trying to take care of the things that we have instead of just having it up there collecting dust. We try our best. We're not perfect with it. Welcome to the living room. This is the front end of our home on the main living floor. In here, as you can see, we have a little keyboard, my son's guitar hanging there, and then my husband, he has a guitar as well. His is right there. The sofa that we have had for 5 years now, and I don't know, I still love it. It's still pretty comfy. Maybe it's not the cutest, but it's definitely comfy. I love it here. We have a little bulletin board that we like to put things up for homeschool. This is the area that we homeschool in. This is probably one of the most cluttered areas of our home. Lots of court management that needs to be done. And this is basically where my husband and son, they like to hang out in this little area. I mean, it's definitely not like a man cave type of thing, but it's definitely one of those things where I don't I'm not super persistent on it. I let them have their fun. I let them do their thing in this little corner of the home. The robot vacuum is somewhere lost around the home, but that is where we house the robot vacuum. And right now we are currently renovating the basement. So my husband's working in here as well. So what is typically my homeschool desk, I've got all my calendars, all the good stuff up there. It's currently my husband's little work area. It's a little bit messy right now, but we are keeping things as real as we can. My husband also does videography, so he's got all his camera equipment, all types of things there. I'm not going to get too much in his business, but yeah, he's got all his little work things there. Our alphabet chart. He has a little whiteboard in his little desk cubby there. More of my husband's work equipment. And then on our desk here, more books. We have books. Books is not something that we are short on. I'm not minimal when it comes to books unless they're like torn up. I think having a good library it's important. I think reading is fundamental. So we have some curriculum, lots of different type of books. We also have like puzzles and things like that, crayons. Normally a bit more neat, but not today. Over here is where we definitely have some mess to focus on today. I'm actually going to take these blankets here to the laundry room today. They are clean and folded. There's a throw blanket in there and an extra blanket. That I have a couple of travel bags there because we actually have a flight 2 days from now. We are flying back down south, so those are the travel bags, my daughter's and mine, that I need to pack, so I have them out. Otherwise, we have a wicker basket that we like to keep extra homeschool supplies inside of this little wicker storage ottoman here. As you can see, the walls are not super bare, and even though we don't have a ton of stuff in here, it's not, I guess, your average typical idea of what people would expect or think when it comes to minimalism. We're a homeschool family and we love to keep our homeschool manipulatives, our books and things like that. And my husband and son are definitely video game lovers. So that's the best that I could describe this room. Right off the garage door and right above the basement is our guest bathroom. We have like antiseptics in here, like peroxide, alcohol, lotion, disinfectant wipes, moisturizers. One really cool thing that we have in here is this hand dryer, which when my husband bought it, I thought it was so weird, but it's a small little hand dryer that, you know, when guests come over, they can use that instead of all utilizing the same towel, which to me, it's actually a very sanitary option. Otherwise, here we do have a little toothbrush station for my son because for some reason he picks where he wants to brush his teeth, upstairs, downstairs. It doesn't bother me. If you guys want to see what's in here, Q-tips, my husband's hairbrush, nail clippers, and here the trash bags for the bathroom trash cans, some baby wipes, and extra toilet paper. It's inside of there. And then in here we have different like cleaning utensils and everything. But you guys, honestly, it's just a guest bathroom, nothing too crazy. We're gonna go upstairs. I'll show you guys around up here to the very end of the hallway, and you turn to the left is the master bedroom, or my husband and I's bedroom. It's only just slightly larger than the other two rooms, so calling it a master bedroom, I feel like it's maybe a stretch. But I'll go to this wall first, and along this wall we have a very extra large air filter to try and keep allergens under control. We have my husband's dresser. This is the Ashley Furniture collection. It has the taller dresser, the shorter wide chest, as well as the bookshelf to match. So that's a 3-piece set. And then we have a reading chair to sit in right next to the bookshelf. On the top of the dresser, we have a Google Home as well as our home internet router. We have a large humidifier, 2 candles that I'm trying to phase out. We have had these candles for quite some time. One was gifted to me for my birthday, and then another was gifted to us when we had family over for Thanksgiving. So we've had them for quite some time. And then my jewelry box I've also had forever. You have necklace, earrings, rings, bracelets, watch, all inside of this one little jewelry box here. And so it's pretty cool, simple, basic, and gets the job done. Now on top here, I do have a couple things that I want to remember to pack. I wanted to remember to bring my son's allergy, vitamins from Genexa, and a couple of ear backs for my earrings that for some reason I always lose them in the shower. So just keeping them out in the open where I can remember. But on the bookshelf, I keep all of my favorite motherhood and parenting and homeschool books right at the top. Here is where I typically keep my favorite Bible studies, which I actually have a huge collection from the Daily Race Company, but I ended up shipping them down south as well. And then here on this shelf, I keep some of my favorite devotionals as well as some of my favorite just like regular reading books. Half of my entire bookshelf is in Florida, and then down there I keep workbooks, business books, content creation books, productivity books, and then planners down there. So that's my little bookshelf. This is my husband's little corner of the dresser. So up here is my mess, my jewelry box, my candles, and then this is my husband's. His definitely looks a lot more tidy. I just keep his little game controllers and things in a little basket, and then he has his Switch like chargers for his Switch, the games that he plays with my son. And then there is my dresser. Bedding is on this back wall here. It's so basic and simple. We don't have a ton of pillows, anything cute, decorative. Our pillows barely even match. We just get what works best for us, what we find to be comfortable. We have our little blankets on top, and then we each keep a little shelf high up from the kids, or we keep things we don't want them to get to, like hand sanitizer for my husband. And then I keep essential oil and a water bottle up top for my tiny desk humidifier, as well as a couple of things up here that I was gifted from the kids. My watch charging, all of my cords for work here, my laptop. On my nightstand, I always keep a good read. I love to read. There's always going to be a couple of books on my night shelf. And then I also have some Kleenex because I've been dealing with some sinuses lately, lots of sinus pressure. That's just a thing here up north for me. And then on my desk, I love to be able to just keep an old-fashioned alarm clock. I prefer to, if I have to wake up like with an alarm, I prefer to do so with an alarm clock so that I don't necessarily have to pick up my phone as soon as I wake up in the morning. And I also use this to be able to keep a grasp on what time it is throughout the day. Just another way to not always have to have my phone on me, but I do have like my camera bundle case there to keep all of my little camera things for the camera that I'm currently using, my desk humidifier and essential oil diffuser, a cute little minimal plant there. And then here I keep pens that I like to be able to access quickly, lip balm. I have some gum that I want to remember to pack for our flight. Then I have here like my little headphones that I grab and listen to when I'm either working. I use these. When I'm working out, I use these ones because they go to my Galaxy. And then this one goes to like my iPhone, my MacBook. But yeah, I just keep quick grab and go electronics and portable devices there. And then this here is my mango body butter by my own family owned business. It is Hearth and Home Heritage. Mango is definitely my favorite. It's completely natural, just mango essential oil with organic shea butter and coconut oil. It has such a light scent that it does not bother my husband whenever I use some of my Bath and Body Works products. He just doesn't like how strongly scented they are. You can smell it in the whole room, but that I can put on at night, in the morning, throughout the day, and the scent is so light and it's just such a good moisturizer, so I just keep it out. And then I have here inside of my desk, I'll show you guys, I have highlighters, sticky notes, my little book stuff. So I have my reading glasses, my reading light, a couple of bookmarks, an extra phone case that I really think I can get rid of. I think these are prenatal vitamins. I still take them because I'm breastfeeding. And then I have my little journal for if I have to quickly jot down anything, and then some personal things hidden under there so that the world cannot see it. But very basic here. And then on the wall, the decor we went with is live for the moment you can't put into words. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, meaningful, and minimal. Then in the closet here, here's an extra dresser. On the bottom, I keep warmies, which are, I don't know if you guys know what warmies are. They are these lavender stuffies. They're stuffed with dried lavender. I got the slippers for my tired feet. You warm it and it's so soothing. I have the stuffies. The neck wraps, and I have a heating pad as well as a little throw that my mommy gifted me. So I keep stuff like that in here. And then my husband, who also takes jujitsu classes, he keeps some of his jujitsu training clothing in here, as well as like his extra like work clothes in here. And then that's all of like my favorite, more for my from the Disney Princess Collection. We are a Disney loving family, so I have like some of these in Florida and some here. Moana and Ariel are here. Always love a good Palmer's. I have had this one since I was pregnant, so I still use that. And then some spray on Vaseline for when you're busy and on the go. Also have this since when I was pregnant because it just took forever. It just took forever. And then this is a very light body mist from Costco. It's a good brand, Nutrius. And then I have a lot of my different vitamins that I have to take that I typically take up here in my room, which are like my potassium, iron, vitamin C, things like that, vitamin D, all up here. Some extra sunglasses in here. Just little basic things there. And then up top there, we keep some storage up here, a couple of storage containers, as well as our important document container, my husband's firearm, and those storage containers are empty. Laundry basket. And then in here, we have way too many hangers, belts, purse holder or organizer, our winter jackets. Back here, everything that I'm hiding for my son's 7th birthday party. And then an extra set of blankets. We keep an extra set of blankets for every single bedroom, for each room. You never know when. It's just so much easier to have one extra set on hand in case you ever need to quickly switch out your bedding. So each room has an extra set of bedding. So there it is, our nightstands. Nothing too crazy, very basic. I love to keep a fan in the room. That's pretty much it in here. The right of the end of the hallway is my daughter's nursery. We have a air filter in every bedroom. And then my daughter's diaper genie, she's still in diapers. Here we keep quick grab diapers and wipes and a noise machine. Her changing table, her little reclining chair or nursing chair that rocks and glides with a couple of baby books there. There's her bedroom's extra set of blankets. We'll come back to that. Here's her crib. I kind of keep these hanging up, so when I lay her in there, I either remove them or just throw one on top of her. Sometimes she sits, sometimes she sleeps when we're here. But I keep this little nursing Bobby pillow because, again, we're still nursing and breastfeeding. And sometimes when she is laying, she likes to be propped up on there. But if I am laying her this way, sometimes I'll lay her into here instead. She is almost 2, so it's not, like super unsafe. She's moving around as much as she can. When she's just sitting in here, like if I need to shower, this little baby Einstein thing, which is so easy to just pull it off, it'll keep her busy. So I have that just to keep her busy. And then her little age trackers, I forget what we call those, but she is currently 21 months. So So there's that. She has some little butterflies over her crib. And then both my daughter and my son have these from when they were born, little keepsake shadow boxes. She also has a mirror high up over the changing table, and that says, "Let your faith be bigger than the mountains." Up top, we keep the Ring camera so that we can see her when she is in here. And then this is her bed that she will transition to once she grows out of her crib. It's perfect to have it in here now because she can grow with it. So when she leaves the crib, she can move over to the queen size bed, in which not only can we use this bed since she was an infant to pull all-nighters with her when we're having one of those nights where she just wants someone in the room with her. I have these extra sets of covers out because my mother-in-law may or may not be visiting in 2 days. My daughter will just sleep with us and my mom-in-law will sleep here. We will just change, put the extra set of covers on the bed quickly, and yeah, it'll be a quick transition. So that's why I have those out. I have a breast pump back there because I really want to try to see if I can get some milk stored because I'm beginning to get into the phase of weaning her since she was almost 24 months. The way that I plan to do that is to transition her for the last month to trying to take breast milk just from a cup and then start mixing it with almond milk before she switches completely to almond milk. And then, yeah, just books in here, her laundry basket. Although she's too big for this little thing, she still likes to like just sit in it because it rocks and vibrates, but you can also switch it to be just a chair, and she actually likes to sit in that chair when she's like reading her books and things. And then we have an extra diaper station there with diapers, warm wipes, baby diaper rash cream, things like that, a tiny little essential oil humidifier, her hair products, little books, little baby toys. That's all on this little shelf. And then normally she has a ton of bows up there, but we have a lot of them down south. And then we are getting ready to pack this diaper bag for travel as well. In her little closet here, it definitely needs some work that I will take care of when we get back this summer. She has shoes that are now too tiny for her down there, a basket of toys that she sort of plays with and sort of doesn't, so it may or may not be donated. We have her baby bathtub in here, some baby bath products, her little hair shampoo cup, her hair shampoo, like the cover that you put around their head so it doesn't get into their eyes, just little things like that. 2 dresses that are way too adorable that I didn't want to give up, so instead of donating them, I'm going to put them away just in case we have a future baby. Some dresses that she can currently fit, both long sleeve and short sleeve and sleeveless, as well as coats because we are still in that season. So a lighter one that she actually traveled here in, and then a thicker one there. I will use these from baby to baby if I can. It says "Welcome to the World." It's a neutral color that I can bring home all of my babies in from the hospital. And then this is the little baby sleep sack that I can also reuse. I don't keep or hold on to every little keepsake, but their shadow boxes are like, these are it for me. Up there I have nursing pads, and then I also have diapers right now for baby girl, which as you can see, soon we're gonna have to restock diapers. A bin just full of extra hangers. We have shopping cart covers in there for when we go to the grocery stores, and she actually in here, you guys, has little puppets, which are cute, and my husband got her that. So that's what's in that basket, but that pretty much sums up my daughter's room. I didn't show you guys what's in pretty much any of our drawers. These ones, like, you guys, we just don't have a ton of stuff, so you know, like in here she has a few cloths and things, bibs, a couple pairs of tights or leggings, some socks in here. She has a bin of laundry there that I need to wash and put away, but onesies, shirts, and pants or shorts. And then she just has a bunch of receiving blankets and boppy covers in here that we don't need because she's grown out of that now. So you guys, yeah, the fact of the matter is with us being snowbirds, we are pretty much here for half the year and in Florida for half the year. So when it comes to clothing and things, I don't want to misrepresent. We do have more clothes than what you guys see. It's just that half of our wardrobe is here and the other half of our wardrobe is in Florida. That way we don't have to like pack clothes every time we're traveling from home to home, because we visit throughout the year and then we like kind of live in one spot, you know, for 6 to 7 months straight in each place. The kids, they grow so fast. So in their room, they very much just don't have a lot because they, every single time we come back, like they grow in a 6 month span, you know? So we have been down south for the entire fall and winter. So coming back here in the spring, they pretty much need a whole new wardrobe, or we'll be bringing back things from Florida, because otherwise, once we go back, the chances of them having grown out of their clothes are very likely. For my husband and I, it's not the same. We don't grow out of our clothes. But with the children, if we just leave their clothes there and say when we get back, they'll have it, that's great for when we're visiting. But as far as like being somewhere for a full 6 months, when we go back, a majority of their things are going to be too small for them. So it's something tricky that we're still trying to get the hang of. But for the most part, we still don't keep a lot of clothing. I do have way more clothing in Florida than I do here because I leave and go out more there. So once we get there, I'll do a minimal apartment tour and give you guys an idea of some of the things that we keep, you know, there. Just wanted to say that quick little disclaimer. I don't want you guys to think like I'm being dishonest here or anything like that, because yeah, we typically have a few more things stocked in the drawers, the dressers, things like that. Nevertheless, the home is still very much lived in. We didn't pack any of our furniture. We had like one suitcase of clothes for all of us combined. We didn't pack any dishes, decor, none of that. We, you know, left everything as is. So what you're seeing is how our home is lived in for the time that we are here. We just began doing that this year. Before that, this was our home all of the year. We own our home here up north, and then we rent our home down south for now until we can get an idea of how we want to do things, since this is just our first year. Next, I'll show you guys my son's room, which is at the very end of the hallway, and our bathroom. At the end of the upstairs hallway is my son's room. He is 7, and this is also where he and my daughter often play together. And here it's typically the messiest room. He's got both some cool light, some warm light. All of our rooms have both cool and warm lights, just depending on what we're going for, the season, the time of day. And I think that light therapy, it's very cool. As soon as you come in, there on this wall, we have a couple of wall shelves because when he was younger, we liked to keep things higher up that we don't typically like for him to have access to. So we have his baby newborn picture, as well as his cross necklace here. And then he also has a baby monitor, Disney Castle, as well as the Pirates of the Caribbean model. I think both those models he got from Disney World one year. The back wall is actually where his window is, and we go back and forth between having his bed up against that wall or this wall, because either way it's going to be next to the window. I found this way to be best during the winter, because when it's up against that wall there, the wall is pretty cold in the wintertime, and so if he lays up against it, you know, it's kind of cold. But this way the headboard is up against the wall versus him being colder. Once he's older, we'll probably just put the bed in the middle of the wall, but he has been in the same bed since he was 3. And we've always kept it against the wall so that he can sleep closer to the wall versus falling over. We used to have a railing there, but he's 7 now. I don't necessarily think he needs to be against the wall, but this is just currently how it's been for now. Also on this wall, he has a large filter. He has allergies, probably worse than me when it comes to airborne allergies. I have bad like pet allergies, dust mite, and he's allergic to like seasonal allergies. Large air filter for him as well, his nightstand, and then we have a cube storage shelf for some of his little manipulatives and lots of books. Books is something that we aren't extremely minimal about. We get rid of books that we just no longer read or books that are kind of tearing apart. But other than that, I think that having a good library is just so nice for our kids, our grandkids, our future kids. Just, I remember when I was young and I used to go over my sister's grandparents' house and they had just the most beautiful library that I would just go sit in and read, and I was just a little girl. Just would love to also be able to build up a good library to one day have for my grandchildren as well. So all of the books, you'll always see plenty of those. Here he keeps travel toys in there. He keeps his railroad tracks in here. More little wooden toys. We like to keep like wooden pretend play toys and things like that. Good quality. And then in here he just has a ton more books. And these are like books for like learning and Bob's books, things like that. On his nightstand he has his video games that he plays with his father, his Little Tykes story reader, his sound machine, and his night lights. We do allow him and his sister to watch television in here sometimes when my husband and I are hanging out and we want to watch a grown-up show. Right now we are watching The Voice, Next Level Chef right now, Survivor, things that the kids don't want to watch. So sometimes we let them watch television. When we have screen time, we let them have a little screen time too. He has been in this bed since he was 3 years old. He has his shadow box here, just like my daughter's shadow box in her room from when we had him. This is actually a 3D model that him and my husband built together. It's like a Paw Patrol 3D model. And they kind of just printed and built these together, put the pieces together, the screws and everything, but it has like a little elevator, a slide, a little lookout tower that kind of just rotates around. Here is his pretend play fire station. It opens up really large, and then he has his fire truck to go along with that there. His whiteboard over here with some of his swim ribbons for all the different levels that he completed with swim class and everything. His bedtime and morning checklist. He's got a large bin of plastic railroad tracks that we haven't decided if we're keeping yet. An easy bake oven, so random. A couple of things hanging up in the closet there. A little blanket that he's had since he was a baby. These little things has coin bank is back there. We keep little medicines, thermometer, things like that in here. Some bath time stuff in there. So he has like a bath toy, some my daughter is right here sneezing. He has like a bath toy, bath lotion, number blocks that we actually use the number blocks during math. He printed a bunch of these with my husband as well, a little rocket ship, Legos in here. And this is actually a travel potty. We never used it when we were potty training him. I figured we'll keep it. We travel often and we might need it when we begin traveling my daughter. And then a couple of clothes that I want to take to church and put it on the Friendsgiving table. They're nice outfits. Like this is a Marvel Adidas set. This is an Adidas set. It's a nice Levi jeans and Nike hat. So that's pretty much here in his room. This is the bathroom, which is as soon as you come up the stairs to the right of the hallway. It's nothing crazy, just a bathroom. I keep wax things up there and I keep facial products there. All right, you guys, that sums up today's minimal home tour. I hope that it gave you guys a different perspective on minimalism and how realistically it looks. It's not about having everything clear, all of your surfaces, all of your walls. The main thing about minimalism is having the minimal amount of things that you can manage in your current season of life, not over consuming and having more things than you need, and just filling your home with the things that are truly important to you, things that you really love, and things that you feel are beautiful and makes your life easier and more functional. If you were inspired by this video and maybe you are considering doing a whole home declutter or just getting a small little head start, I have a free resource for you down below in my description box. If you click the link to join my newsletter, you can get access to my free 30 days to a peaceful home and heart guide. It's a head start for busy moms and homemakers who are really craving a more simple lifestyle and a more easier to manage home. It takes you on a decluttering journey within 30 days. It's not too daunting or overwhelming, just step by step, very easy and simple and attainable tasks that you can do week by week to simplify not just your home, but also your heart, your social life, your physical space, your mental space, everything and in between. So I would love for you to grab that down below. It's completely free. And if you love it, you can also share it with someone else. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe, because I'm always sharing motherhood motivation, homemaking inspiration, and really encouraging moms to simplify their life so that they can enjoy doing the things that they love the most. So if you enjoy motherhood, homemaking, simple living, and minimalism, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.